ministry of song.
Yes.
Let's turn our hearts and minds down to the ministry of the Word of God.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
If you have the Bibles with you, I invite you to turn with me to the book of Psalms, Psalm 24. Psalm 24.
All right.
I want to lift up words found in verses 7 through 10. We'll be surveying the entire 24th Psalm in the process of the message, but let's consider these words for our text. Lift up your heads, O ye gates,
All right.
and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors,
Come on, man.
and the King of glory
Yes.
shall come in. Who is this King of glory?
Yes.
The Lord, strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts.
Yes.
He is the King of glory.
All right.
Let the King of glory come in.
Yes. Right.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this message on today. We thank you for the word that you have given us to guide and direct our paths and to lead us from glory to glory. Bless your people as hearers, that we might be doers of the word, that we indeed will let the King of glory come in. This is our prayer. We ask it all in the precious and the strong name of Jesus, who is our Christ, and for his sake. Amen. The 24th Psalm is a Psalm of David. It is the third Psalm in what's called a trilogy. Psalms 22, 23, and 24 are studied together in a trilogic form. Psalm 24 emphasizes who holds the title deed to the earth, who is the owner and possessor of the earth. Well, David is led by God to answer such a question. He begins this song by saying the earth is the Lord's. Not only is the earth the Lord's, but he says the fullness thereof. That means everything that it takes to make the earth full.
That's right.
So the earth is the Lord's. And everything that it takes to make the earth full is the Lord's.
All right.
But then we have here what's called in Hebrew poetry a synonymous parallelism, where the first part of the verse and the second part of the verse are in parallel. And the second part actually says the same thing, but adds a piece of information. So the second part says, the world. Now it starts off saying the earth in the beginning of the first verse, but then the second part says the world. The world is the same as the earth. And they added information
Yes.
that dwell therein. Now, in the first part of this parallelism, it speaks of those things that make the earth full. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness, things. But in the second part, he adds people.
Yeah. Okay.
They.
Right.
But some people think that things might belong to God, but they don't.
Okay.
No, it's not just things, but he made you too.
Yes.
The earth did not produce man. God produced man. Amen.
Amen.
So everything that belongs in the earth, that is in the earth, is a part of God's creation. There's nothing that's on the earth or in the earth that did not come from God's creation. Man has been given the intellect, the ability to take things out of the earth and change the form of it. So you have glass, and you have metal. We have ceramics, and we make a lamp, a lampstand or pole. But it came from something, some substance that's in the earth. You cannot find anything on earth that did not come from earth.
All right.
It belongs to God.
All right. That's right.
It is taken from God's possession.
Yeah.
No matter what a person owns, as we call ownership, there'll be no U-Haul trucks in the graveyard. When you leave here, whatever you were blessed to have in your possession stays behind. And even the person who did have ownership over something goes back to where you came from, the dust.
Yes.
The Bible says, dust you are, God said to man, and to dust you shall return. Talking about your body. Are you listening to what I'm saying? It's just a confirmation that the earth is the Lord's. Generation after generation of people occupy the earth. They come and they go. And we come and we go. In our lifetime, in our generation, people are born and people are dying. Everybody has a birthday and a death day. There are no exceptions. There are no exceptions regardless of your talent. I'm talking about great voices and people that did great things in our lifetime who are gone.
Yes.
Greatness doesn't keep you here.
All right. That's right.
Everything belongs to God.
Yes.
But then the song keeps moving. It asks a question, or first it says, He hath founded it, that's the earth, upon the seas and established it upon the floods. It was God who said that when earth was completely covered by water, let the dry land appear. You read the book of Genesis. Everything came out of water, but the earth is still 2/3 water. It's easy for water to completely cover the earth, and God says so. Now, He did this out of His own power to establish that there would be a place for man to be able to walk and move and live, build cities.
Yes.
Look what it says next. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord? That's not a hill like Forest Hill Park. No, that's not Fulton Hill. That's not Oregon Hill. That's not Navy Hill. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord? Who's really going to heaven? Who's going up there? David said, I will look into the hills from what cometh my help. Which way you gonna look, David? Not to Mount Zion. Not to the Mount of Olives. No. When you gonna look to the hills from whence cometh my help, which way is your help coming from? Somebody point up. My help, he says, coming from the Lord. The Lord who made the heaven and the earth.
Yes, yes.
That's where my help comes from.
Yes, sir.
So the psalmist asks, who's going up there? And then he answers his own interrogatory. He says, who's going to stand in the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? That hill is holy.
Yes.
The place where the hill is holy.
All right.
Who's going up? Who shall stand in the holy place?
That's good.
Look what it says next. Verse 4. He that hath clean his hand, and he that has not a corrupt heart, not a two-faced heart, not a wishy-washy heart, not an uncommitted heart, but he that hath clean hands, that's who's going up, and he that hath a pure heart. I may not be all that I'm going to be, but thank God. You gonna say,
Yes.
I'm not what I.
You should be.
I'm a work in progress. There's something in my heart that longs for God. God is working on me so that what's in my heart and what's in my life and my behavior, my surroundings will come in line with the one who gives me my help. Your heart does that. What kind of heart you have will drive what you're going to become. When God gets through with you. Amen. It's not because of what you do that makes you. It's what's in your heart that makes you. Amen. So my heart says, I long for God.
Yes.
I long, as a deer panteth after the water, so panteth my soul. Psalm 42. After thee, O Lord. The deer senses and smells. He knows where the water is. And he starts running through the forest because thirst is on him. So he runs. He could walk, but he decided to run. By the time he gets to the water, we don't do that too much now. Some of us got too old to run for water. But when we were young, we'd be thirsty outside playing and whatnot, and you'll take a break, but you're running to the water. By the time you get where the water is, sweat pouring down, water is refreshing you, such a good, pure feeling. David said, my soul is like that. I'm a God chaser. I'm chasing after you no matter what I have to do. I need you, the song said, more and more. Any God chasers in here? Yes, my soul can still run. Yes. My legs may not run like that anymore, but my soul is still chasing after God. In a dry and thirsty land. My Lord, the one who's going up, he that hath cleaned his hands and has a pure heart, who have not lifted up his soul unto vanity. You can waste time with your life, your soul, your present life. Amen. You can waste time with your activities, with your behavior, doing things that God does not approve of. That's lifting up your soul to vanity, things that do not prosper you. I want to grow in the Lord. I don't have time to waste. Don't lift up your soul. Your soul drives the life of your body. That's where your body gets its movement from, your soul. So when you spend time, set apart time to do things that you're going to have to repent for, that you're going to have to stand before God and be sorry for, you're lifting up your soul to vain things. Said, nor have the one who have sworn deceitfully. Sworn deceitfully. Promised to do something you knew you weren't going to do. I promised the Lord, if you get me out of this, well, why are you back in it?
Talk about it, Bishop.
I told God, this is my last time doing this. Well, don't deceive yourself because God already knows. Sworn deceitfully. Some people do that with each other. You know, somebody tell you they're going to meet you a certain place, they're going to be there, and they knew good and well when they said it, they weren't going to be there. Yeah, I'm going to see you at such a place. I'll be there. And you look around and say, well, I'll be there. Some people just say things that they don't have any intention of making sure that they can't. I just need this money for 1 week. I'll pay you back. And you're saying that, but you don't know when they're going to pay it back. Or if you're going to pay it back. You're swearing deceitfully. You're playing trickery with yourself. But the Bible says, when you want to understand who qualifies for going up there, it's not one who lifted up your soul to vanity nor sworn deceitfully. But look what it says. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. Those who have put aside deceitful swearing, pledging and promising things that you don't know what you're going to do, commitments that you don't take serious whether you're going to keep them or not. Pay your bills. You sign a document and say, oh, you get this loan, get this document, get this car, you're going to get this furniture on time. You sign the document, you actually making a pledge. And then when you act like it doesn't matter whether you pay it all or pay on time or pay how you should, how you promise, you've sworn deceitfully. You're deceitful. And your credit rating going to be 102. Who's going to loan you anything? It tells how you really act. You know, I had a professor, one of my professors at school, back in seminary, he owned a business. And he was a pastor of a church. You know what he said? Before I invite a preacher to preach in my pulpit, I check the credit. And if you have bad credit, he does not invite you. If he did invite you, he'll cancel. But he's saying you're a liar. Credit has to do with how well you pay what you promise. Hello. I said credit has to do with how well you pay what you promise. You call most creditors when you're having a problem. You call most creditors, they work something out with you, and they won't put a bad rating on you. If you call and you ask for an arrangement, amen, then that's not held against you. But some people duck and dodge. They call it, I'm not going to call it all. They get all these letters, and then next thing you know, you call the police. Just somebody stole your car. They stole my car. You call the police. You know the first place the police check? Repo. Before they go around putting out APB for your car, they check repo. And they tell you real quick, your car wasn't stupid. People got it. Lord have mercy. God is calling for us to put ourselves in the place of blessing.
Yes.
He that have clean hands, look at that, look at the qualification, a pure heart. That's a good heart intent. Amen. Who will not lift up his soul to vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. Whether it's a handshake or signing documents, you're not sworn, you have not sworn deceitfully. But it says, he shall receive, the ones who have not done those things, shall receive what? The blessing from the Lord, and what? Righteousness. What's that mean? Right standing from the God of his salvation. This is the generation, those who follow after that path. This is the generation of them that seek the Lord, that seek thy face. Oh, Jacob. Amen. And of course, you see that word, S-E-L-A-H, Selah, which means pause. Consider this. That's like a common in English. You're not supposed to read that in poetry. You're not supposed to read that.
Right.
It means pause.
Right.
Consider this.
Yes. Yeah.
Then David goes into this litany, this ritual that was done by the people of God outside the gate of the temple. When they would stand outside the gate, they could not go into the temple for worship on the day of worship until the priest opened up the gate. But people would begin to gather before the time that the gate is supposed to be open. So they would be standing outside waiting to go in for worship, gathering by the hundreds, standing at the gate, waiting. You know, David wrote about that experience. You know what I'm saying? He waited outside the gate. And when they would open the gate, David wrote, I was glad. But the priest, when they opened the gate, he would say, one of the things he would finally say was, let us go into the house of the Lord. And David said, I was glad when they said unto me. But you know, there was something that he would do, the priest, before he unlocked the gate. There was a ritual that they went through which involved these words. Verse 7. The people would begin to shout, let the King of glory come in. That's what the people would say. Let the King of glory come in with one unison voice. And the priest would say, who is the King of glory?
That's good, Bishop.
And so the people would say, the Lord, strong and mighty.
Yes.
The Lord mighty in battle.
Yes.
Now, you know, we ought to let him in.
Yes.
It's really talking about letting the Lord come into your heart. Lifting up the doors of your heart. Amen. You know when they had doors to cities, oftentimes the doors were pulled, they had a rope that they pulled, and the doors would rise up to the city. Go up. Not necessarily open up like you open up your arms. But they would go up. He said, be lifted up, ye everlasting doors.
Yes.
The doors of your heart can bring an everlasting experience with God. Let God come into your heart. Let the King of glory come in. Somebody said, let him in. We ought to open up our hearts and let God come in.
Yes.
Because there is a blessing and a benefit to having the Lord on the inside of your heart.
Yes.
And so as I said, the people would cry out, let the King of Glory come in. The preacher said, who is this King of Glory? The people would respond, who he is. And then when they respond who he is, they would say again, let the King of Glory come in. And the priest would cry out again, who is the King of Glory?
All right.
And the people would say, the Lord of hosts, he is the King of Glory. You know what the Lord of hosts means? When they use that term, the Lord of hosts, he's talking about the host of the angelic forces that fight battles. Lord have mercy. The Lord of hosts is the Lord over the fighting angels, the ones who intervene in the fight that men would have on battlefield, the host of angels that would fight for Israel. You know, the Israeli army was famous for fighting in small numbers, larger armies. Like they would swing the sword, strike one man and two fall down. They say, I didn't hit all those people who knocked down the other one. The angels of the Lord fighting for you. God's fighting for you too.
Yes.
Amen. So I'm saying to you, my brothers and sisters, if you need somebody on your side to fight your battle, you need to let the King of Glory come in.
Yes.
And if you let him come in, he'll take up with you and he will take the fight out of your hand. And the Bible says the battle is the Lord's.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's not yours.
That's right. All right.
Can I get up with me?
Yes.
I said the battle is not yours, it's the Lord. And so I want us to imagine ourselves, just imagine yourself standing at the gate waiting to go into the house of worship. See yourself waiting for the priest to come and open up the gate.
Yes.
And when the priest shows up, when I show up getting ready to open up the gates, you shout the words of the people. Let the King of Glory come in. And I respond like the priest respond. Who is the King of Glory? And then you say who the King of Glory is. The Lord, strong and mighty.
Yes.
The Lord, mighty in battle.
Yes, yes.
And then you shout again, let the King of Glory come in. Can you do that?
Amen.
All right then. Join in one voice and say, let the King of Glory come in. Come on.
Let the King of Glory come in.
Oh, you don't want to get in. You don't want to get in. I think you can do better than that.
Yes.
You can do better than that. You're standing at the gate. You want to get into worship. You want to have time in the Lord. Amen. You got to act like you're excited about going on the inside. So I want you to join in with the voice. Lift up your voices and say it like you mean it, like you want this gate to be open. Come on. Who is the King of Glory? Now see that? She the only one who know who the Lord is. The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. All right. Let's do it again. Y'all gotta know what to say. You gotta know who the Lord is. Okay?
Yes.
Come on, let's join in together.
Let the King of Glory come in.
Good. That's not because you weren't ready. You weren't ready to say it. He was ahead of you. I'm gonna give you the cue. All right, let's join in together. Let's say it.
Let the King of Glory come in.
Who is this King of Glory?
The Lord strong and mighty. The Lord mighty in battle.
My God, come on, put those hands together. God wants the gate to come open. And when the gate comes open, it's And I want to tell you, the King of glory is ready to fill the house. The King of glory is ready to answer your prayer.